it's one of those like,
yeah,
one of those mathematical computer science that is like 2,364,981. You know, it's like this specific number was breached, and that's not allowed.
Yeah, it's
so then it flips back to 0.
Integer overflow right there happening, and then the funny thing is that it set his max HP to 1 after that, or it set his HP to 1 after he died. So not only did he die in a weird way, but he also got punished afterwards.
Well, anyway, smoke into smoke. Game 1, best of 3, lower bracket here for the NA Quals. On the road to TI, TT Geam, Radiant side, play up to Dire Jungle, and BSJ and friends, Dire side, play into Radiant Triangle. Mirroring each other here a little bit, and fighting over the top rune, where a Reaper, Sammy Boy, Templar Assassin, is spotted, and TT Geam are afraid of him. Look at him just stepping up, swaggering forward. What are you going to do about me? Oh, I'm setting a trap. Are you going to fall for it? Nusham from the sidelines looking for an angle. TT Geam all swarm together. I'm curious if BSJ and friends are going to pounce on this opportunity or let it slide.
Yeah, it's gonna get the D ward. At least nice to get rid of the ward there on the mid lane. As the Rasta is chasing over on the Oracle, they could come in with a hammer and slow him down a bit. Could deal some damage, but slightly too late. Dazzle though.
Well, Sammy Boy missed his first meld, and he seems very animatedly pissed at it. So that should have been meld, kill, bounty rune take. They got a little bit messy, but still, first blood for BSJ and friends.
Yeah, good stuff to get off to a head start, getting the kill on your TA. Already mentioned how she has a very strong laning stage. Getting extra gold from her first blood, definitely not gonna hurt.
And lane-wise, you said Ember Spirit against Queen of Pain. Ember is good when he gets Mage Slayer and mid-game comes, but early lane stage, does he have struggles against Queen of Pain?
There can be struggles if the Queen decides to go for a Shadow Strike build and really pressure you, but at the same time, it's only for a few minutes, and then you can kind of outlast it and just rely on the runes to heal you up enough. Your bottle will make you fine in the end, and I don't expect him to be under too much pressure on this lane.
Right. So far, so good for both of them. 7-2, 7-0. Ember Spirit has an extra creep in this wave, though, so theoretically, slightly ahead.
I am a little bit disappointed that I see a Dazzle support and not going for a Nothel boon after it was buffed. It's so strong now. The extra heal coming in. He did go for the spreading poison touch with the poison bloom. Chasing his TB a little bit.
Now, these are some old classic lanes. DP Tusk, a lot of damage, a lot of forward movement, able to get on top of people. And then TB Dazzle. We used to have like Dazzle PL, Dazzle TB as these illusion bomb lanes, right?
Yeah, exactly. The
shadow
big
wave.
heal bomb nukes. And mid lane, Ember doing a good job always keeping his high ground. Queen has not really struggled too much so far, but it's also hard to get any denies when you're always fighting into this high ground advantage.
And shards on the Dazzle there. Nusham steps up. It seems like Monkey's not super happy to fully commit, but now they force Metamorphosis. It is a full retreat time. Try and Spirit Siphon, regen a little bit more. Monkey's a touch away from death, and he will fall.
Okay. I mean, it worked out there. The Poison Bloom, he did actually bounce it from the Tusk onto DP and immediately swap targets with a Blood Grenade. That was a cute play. Cyber Dingson and Ja find a nice kill.
Oh, well done to pick that off. And then the opposing side lane, oh, hang on, it's Tusk. He's all right, gets onto tower. Reflection was there, but no further chase.
Yeah, so far the TA is farming a lot as expected, but the Dawnbreaker is getting a fair amount of farm himself. The fact that they have the pull camp though is the big difference maker. Sexy managed to get the sentry ward advantage, and the Rasta not really capable of doing too much to stop this. Has a sentry, but I mean, if you go in and put a sentry, you're just gonna get out harassed and get forced away.
Zexy looks really familiar, and I'm trying to put my finger on it. I don't know, he's like, his face kind of reminds me of like Kataomi mixed with Bone 7. I don't know if you see it.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, you're right. I actually felt the same when I saw him earlier. It's like, wait, have I seen this guy before? But
yeah. I keep seeing his player cam pop up and I'm like, Bone 7 is back? But he's not. Good catch on the Dawnbreaker, good chase on the Dawnbreaker, but not enough to bring her down. Purifying Flames, in fact, going to heal her back up a touch. And handed over some tangos as well.
Yeah, maybe could have shackled there onto the Oracle. Some chance to turn around. Had the Dawnbreaker hammer ready. Still looking for it as a Rasta, but it's difficult when you're outranged so much. Dawnbreaker cooldown on W. That's going to be hard for him to fight now.
Good shackles though, keeping Sammy Boy away from the Dawnbreaker kill. And down the bottom lane, Monkeys being sliced by the TB. Nusham able to help out to kill the Dazzle off. And he's able to get away from the TB grasp as well.
Yeah, I mean, not too shabby for them.
Told a funny.
Getting some tips. Top lane, the TA is still completely in control of this lane, and the lane is getting harder for the Dawnbreaker. The more levels that come in for TA as well, harder it's going to be to go up as the melds are starting to hurt now.
It's been kind of a calm, steady start to this one. We've had a lot of frantic dough to these calls. This one's been very steady, getting these core players all fattened up and farmed.
Yeah, not too much crazy action, but we do have the first ticket purchased by Oracle going through the gate, heading down bottom.
I just feel like the Dire are like getting a slight edge, and this glyph play fortifying the creeps that allow the dive on the tower. Nusham and Monkeys on the Terrorblade. They trade a Tusk for it, and DP shackled under this tower, but because they glyph the creeps, they're still alive to tank the shots. So now Zexy and Monkeys can turn and fight. Dazzle trying with his Shadow Shaman to bring the DP down, but she's healing up quite a lot. There's another round of shackles here, lacking the damage to finish her off. And the Oracle in the back is sniping out Dazzle. Another Fortune's End to stop the Shadow Shaman chasing. And Monkeys is fine to get out of here. Or is he? Or is he? Oracle dying to the TP in the back. And I thought DP had TP, but it's cooling down. It's about ready now, but Ame, the Shadow Shaman, in behind the Death Prophet, juking around the trees, ring around the Rosie, and now Whitewater rafting, Monkeys forever grinning. He knows he can taste freedom. He can taste the light at the end of the tunnel, but he's been surrounded by 3 in the river. The Boglets will not save you. They can deny you, but they won't. Down goes Monkeys, while Nusham has sniped out a Dawnbreaker in the top lane.
I know exactly the word coming out of Monkey's mouth after that. That's just space right there, running around for over a minute, kiting people. As the Wisdom Rune is going to be claimed by his friends up top as well. They get the double Wisdom.
That's big.
Annihilate has no mana, very deep here. He throws a Remnant, but there's nothing you can do about that. Magic Stick still cooldown.
Yeah. Dazzle's just going to punch him down. Poison Touch on him. Keep the clicks going. And he put that Queen of Pain in her place, back in Fountain where she belongs. But Annihilate then meets the other 2 members.
Yeah, good reaction by the team coming in. So get some punishment, but still, they lost their top tower already. The structural damage coming in before DP even uses the first ulti is going to be scary. You know that she's going to be hunting for those towers later on.
Whenever DP has that ulti, I want to be using that. So, oh my god, the damage onto this Queen of Pain. She puts it back on the Nusham and the Grave. Does this allow a blink away? It does not. So now Annihilate opens up with some massive damage onto the 2 supports. Solar Guardian coming in to try and save them, but they've all moved away from the area. So Annihilate can just get a double kill. Remnant forward, look for a triple. Ame. He's dead. A triple kill for your mid-ember, and Monkeys has used Exo for tier 1 as well. Easily swinging from teamfight to kills to objective.
Yeah, the Dawnbreaker just got level 6, by the way. If you're wondering why he baited in ulti earlier to try and save his mid player. He literally just got level 6 off the neutral camp and didn't have a way to join earlier. And sadly, they didn't have shackles up by the time he ulted in, so they couldn't hold anyone in place under that ulti to get big damage out. And now the DP, like I mentioned, starting to look for those tier 1 towers. TB though, I really love this from Jai. He found his moment to take out the bottom tier 1.
Yeah, I guess they're pushing objective. Nicely done. Keeping up the pace as well with his net worth. The other lane's struggling though, with the TA stepping forward. Not enough to finish off the Dawnbreaker. She withstands it, and now Queen of Pain with the Terrorblade both arriving to kill off Nusham, denying into the Ancients. Again, not paying off, not working out.
Yeah, good reaction, at least coming in and finding some pickup kill. On the other side, Sai and Eiley just chasing down the Dazzle.
Yeah.
No way out of this one, I'm afraid.
Getting stutter step body blocked on the way through the river.
Yeah, he didn't have TP, and even if he did, the Searing Chain was coming off cooldown there. No grave TP play. Queen of Pain still working on the first item, Blade Mill, that we've seen him go for twice before. No, he has ulti, but I don't know, an Oracle next to him with ulti ready. This is just getting baited.
Yeah, you're gonna throw it now with a Solar Guardian. The heals are coming in onto this Ember Spirit though and dispelling off the dagger. So off he pops while Zexy gets turned on. No snowball save from Nusham. Tried to get there, but the Starbreaker tagged him before he could get there in time.
Oracle 8 mana short from being able to use ulti on himself. Probably would have died anyway though.
TB just dies to TA?
Yeah, he got run down by traps. Gets taken out. That should not happen. Had the Sunder ready as well, but I guess this gets punished there.
Yeah, I mean, it's this stage of the game, right? I feel like maybe I'm making too big of a meal of it, but lane stage breaks down. Minute 10 to 20 is where we see this big separation of good teams, very good teams, and exceptional teams.
Yeah.
Right now, BSJ and friends, they're taking bottom tower. They've moved into mid. They're pressing forwards. They're looking for objectives and looking for kills on the way there, while picking up farm and getting to their key timings. This transition out of laning stage can be challenging, and TT showing
they're going on
they're trying their hardest, getting on this TA, but they can't keep chasing. They're afraid of what's around the corner.
Rasta just didn't get range to hex into Shackle there, unfortunately. And a lot of heroes in the neighborhood now, invading to try and steal away the enemy Ancients. T, of course, this is one of the main things that she wants to do when you win early game. Take over the enemy triangle, start farming here, mitigating the enemy farm.
That's huge.
Also getting ahead of yourself.
But yeah, continue my point, there's now like a big gap appearing, right? The Terrorblade is trying to keep up with the pack, but he's behind the TA. So that matchup is already, we're seeing a bit of a bridge there between them. But the other two, Queen of Pain and Dawnbreaker, if they don't get active in the next, until minute 20, basically, if they're not able to join fights, these are heroes that don't really want to be sitting back and farming. They want to be playing.
Yeah, very, very true. And a lot of it comes down to just lane mechanics as well. I mean, the lanes went really, really well for Dire, and I think that the only lane that went really well for Radiant was that safe lane. They managed to get some nice plays around the Poison Touch, but now it's kind of hard.
Shackles and Sonic Wave. Temper Assassin dropped to about 20% of her HP as the Queen of Pain blinks in. Nusham going to sacrifice himself, though, to keep the TA alive alongside that false promise. While Dazzle, backstab, Monkeys Forever has come in from behind. Exo and Spirit Siphon. Hang on, pretty low on resources, but Templar Assassin's the one getting hit from high ground. Walks into the Terrorblade. Annihilate now jumping away. BSJ and friends not respecting the damage output of GG team. TT Geam.
The team.
Well, Terrorblade is going to chase down the Death Prophet now. Ghost is still going. DP turns to kill off the Dawnbreaker. Barely finds it. Going to pay with her life. A double kill for OK.
Very nicely played by Monkeys Forever in that fight, to be honest. Turning around and managing to get a lot of work done, despite the Oracle ulti not being used on him as well. But the unfortunate part, going into high ground again there, resetting and trying to walk up the high ground just made the fight so easy for Shadow Shaman. And Shadow Shaman has the big ward. He's gonna drop it. Not sure he needed to drop it on this tower as nobody's really around, but of course that's easy for us to say. We can see the Dire sneaking out on side lanes. They don't know where they're at.
It means they don't have to commit any more heroes anymore. Just leave it there to kill the tower.
Yep.
I want to say though, good showing from TT Geam to stand on that high ground and actually fight, because we were just saying they need to be active. They need to get involved in something to get this Dawnbreaker and Quap into the thick of things. And BSJ and friends kind of feeling themselves a little bit too much. Like, oh, we're leading. Oh, we can stomp them. Running up this high ground blind into darkness is a psychotic move.
Yeah, it really was. They kind of handed it to them there, and that could come back to bite them. There are double blade mills up now, and that's going to be difficult to deal with for some heroes, like for Death Prophet, for instance, who can't control her damage output that much. You have your ulti going around, you have AoE damage of Crypt Swarm. You might just take a lot of blade mill damage. Like, yeah, you can direct where the Exo is going to go to some degree, but you can't fully stop yourself from dealing damage into blade mill. He's closing in on Aghanim Scepter on the Death Prophet. I like the earn into Aghanim Scepter build. Very direct once you get that. We've seen teams just use that to push down towers with auto attacks of DP.
Yeah, it turns her into this siege weapon. Just stand there hitting buildings while you can sit behind with an Oracle. That's why the DP Oracle is so nice. You have one, kind of good foot forward hero playing aggressively, one hiding in fog. Ember and Tusk can also play reactively, and then TA never needs to show.
Yeah. TA, by the way, going for the Maelstrom. Haven't mentioned too much about it, but this is a very nice build against the Terrorblade. For a while, this was even the meta build overall, and then Maelstrom was just nerfed because Maelstrom was super overtuned before. Now it's mainly done against illusion carries like this. Gives her a nice way to deal some AoE damage. They scan him. Ame might find him.
Getting close. There's the wraparound shackles. Starbreaker comes into play, and the TA is dead.
Big pick off right in front of the tower.
Tier 2?
Yeah. They've got the snake ready. I think they're maybe thinking about going towards the Roche as well, but just secure this tower first.
Yeah, the easy objective. Yeah, because Roche is in that top spot. Could have maybe swung in there. That was the consideration.
Wrap around to go behind though.
But now the reverse tip. Yeah. Yeah, Sammy Boy was tipping this TB before. Now returned in kind. Shadow Shaman, though, has been found as the Queen of Pain blinks in with the Solar Guardian being
Silence, cancel it.
Cancelled. Silence cancels it from Monkeys Forever. And on the right-hand side, Oracle gonna false promise himself. The big flaming ball above his head, though, means he's about to pop and die. Zexy gone. I know, though, chasing the Queen of Pain, misses the slight. Has he got chains in a second? He does. He catches the Quap. Snowball forward. A bit of damage needed. The chain stuns are just about there.
That was so close to him living, but that was with the missed Slider Fist. DD Rune played a very big factor in that fight, though. Ember coming in with double damage rune, just absolutely going to town. Able to dish out way more damage than had he not had it. And maybe you could say that positioning was a bit sloppy from the side of TT Geam as well. They took the tower, but then Rasta is walking up high grounds alone, splitting. Didn't really go together after getting the objective.
Hey, you've got to play so tight. Leaving stragglers here against the catch on both sides. It's pretty insane. Newsham's going to find an opening on the Dawnbreaker. Has some backup arriving with a DP, but it's forced a reaction at least, forcing the hand of TT Geam to teleport two heroes up here, protect the Quap.
At the same time, they're farming away, got the Terrorblade on the other side of the map. He is top of the net worth right now. And while they have some heroes that are decent against Terrorblade, they don't have the best TB counters on Dire. So if he gets big enough, can definitely be problematic for them.
Well, attempting on the Ember Spirit. I know, like sticking around for the rune, but Queen of Pain's there to grab the shield.
Didn't try for the Slider Fist rune steal. I'm disappointed, man.
That's risky business.
He's got to stay safe overall, though. Jumping away here. Rasta still doesn't have Blink Dagger, but working towards it. 50 gold away. TA is looking for a freebie on the Dazzle, who walked over a trap earlier. Queen blinking into everything.
And this has been a classic move from OK. Blink in, give vision, scout people out, see if they turn and fight. And here, showing that BSJ and friends are scattering, afraid of fighting. Maybe they can regroup and play together, but DP is quite distant. And Dawnbreaker, of course, has this global ultimate to join in. So if TTG are able to find a catch on this Templar Assassin, Ame with the Dawnbreaker helping out, or on Sammy Boy, but there's a silence and a turnaround for the DP. New Refraction is up. They turn, Meld Strike, good damage back, and Dawnbreaker dead. Ame also in trouble here, getting tagged up by monkeys, and a blink back in for the TA clears him out.
Very scrappy, so split up in this fight. People going on different targets, and I think we might see the Dazzle get caught as well as they're running him down.
Long range Fortune's End, channeled up for days as they'll snowball onto the Dazzle. The TP out. He's found. Sentry placed so they actually see him through the glimmer.
Yeah, they also had to make space on the bridge there as Newsham wanted to get forward, but he has face boots, so gets himself close enough. I think there was different ideas there. The Queen of Pain wanted to be the one baiting, then getting the Dawn ulti on herself, and then they had this idea of jumping over on the TA and bursting her on the backline. But unfortunately, that resulted in them not having enough resources for any of those commitments. If they committed to one, it may have worked out really well for them. The Queen was so close to living against the Ember and turning it around. As the Tormentor gets spawned right into TA double Meld Strike. Quick takedown for them. Get themselves the shard. And which one do they get? They get the Tusk shard. Okay. Definitely the less impactful one, I would say, between the two of them, but does accelerate his damage and farm a little bit. It's honestly pretty good against Terrorblade. If you lock Terrorblade with the shards from Tusk, that's a lot of damage. 85 per second.
That's pretty hefty. And you were comparing Tusk Shard with Oracle Shard?
Yeah,
Reign of
Oracle
Destiny?
Shard. Yeah, Oracle Shard is very, very good. Reign of Destiny, I mean, it was slightly nerfed when it was turned into a shard instead of an Aghanim Scepter, but we see this trend in Dota where most abilities that started out as an Aghanim Scepter and then turned into a shard are pretty busted as a shard. And most abilities that started out as a shard and then turned into an Aghanim Scepter are kind of bad for the Aghanim Scepter, you know?
Come on,
like,
Garbaggio. They're rubbish.
Yeah, looking at, like, you know, Drow Aghanim Scepter, it's okay, but it's a big investment. When it was Shard, it was crazy. It was insanely good. And similarly, Oracle Aghanim Scepter before, when it was Reign of Destiny, now when it's a Shard, holy dude, sign me up.
His router died restarting.
His router.
No, it's router. I know we're casting NA Dota and chat's not going to be happy.
We're in America now.
I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah, well, thank you, team, for updating us quickly as well. You know, nice to see.
That's one of those things, right? You know, you watch like cops in movies or something, and in America they say, you know, 481, 10-4 en route, and I cringe so hard when I hear that. It's a French phrase, you know, en route. I'm on my way. I'm on the way there. Don't mispronounce it like that. Come on.
I will say,
if this pause goes on for a while, we could get heated here actually, because
I
there
would
are some things I will not stand
intimidated
for.
if a cop says he's en route.
En route. Je suis en route. Well, that's why the French are always protesting, right? They're protesting all their streets because the police can't do anything. They're never there. They're en route.
Always en route.
No, if this pause goes on for a while, we'll start talking about Parmesan and pronunciation.
I'm actually out of
like
Parmesan right now, dude. I'm out of it. We need more.
Oh, lucky. We went on holiday to Italy for a couple of weeks. We went to that Emilia Romagna, you know, Parma, Bologna region. We've got a big block of Parmesan in the fridge.
Damn.
a big block
of wheel.
No, dude, wheels are so. We went into one of the factories where they make it, and they've got, you know, hundreds of wheels there. And I did the classic thing where I sat there for 5 minutes counting while everyone's wondering what the hell is this weird guy doing. Yeah. Counted. It's like in the room I was in, not a massive room.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the room was like 3 million euros worth of cheese, and it wasn't a big room. It's just like stacked to the ceiling, walls upon walls of cheese aging.
Oh, dude. Do you remind me of one of the events? It was Manila Major, long time ago. Dota Major. It was hosted at Sofitel Hotel in Manila. And they had at that hotel, and this is the only hotel
I've heard all the stories, man. I know.
The cheese room. They had a little, at the buffet, they had a room just all cheeses. Very nice. Honestly,
Yeah, it was very
one of the best breakfast buffets for a hotel that I've been to. It was very nice.
Yes, by far. I'd always heard stories about that major because it was like, you know, the best hotel, the best food and, you know, after game service and all that stuff for a Dota event, just because that hotel was cracked. I was very fortunate to go back last year.
Blink onto the DP, she doesn't have Oracle.
Yeah, I mean, Terrorblade just going to whack into her and kill her off in the duration of the shackles. Easy as that. When you come out of a pause, you lose momentum, you forget where enemy heroes are.
Didn't prognosticate that, gang.
No, did not.
Oracle messed up, or did the Prophet not see it coming? I don't know which. None of them had any clue, Garrett.
Oh, nice play from Newsham here. If that connects properly, but a Sonic Wave pushback, damage is huge. They're going to turn on the TA and kill her off. That looks so sick because Newsham saw and waited for the Queen of Pain to start blinking away for his snowball to chase, but they bit off way more than they could chew.
Yeah, some nice stuff coming in there, though. The Dawnbreaker and the Queen ulti synergizing perfectly at the same time. That's what I've been a little bit, you know, pedantic about with these teams in qualifiers. How much can you coordinate abilities, get them going at the same time? But they make it work here. The TTGM get a gank up top and bottom. A beautiful team fight. And yeah, I saw that. I appreciate the observer pointing out this is an unleashed potency searing signet on Queen. It's amazing. If you get Aghanim Scepter, the duration of this burn is going to get refreshed from the Aghanim Scepter Shadow Strike ticks all the time, which is really, really painful.
That's incredible damage.
Yeah, you can keep that. I mean, it's a tier 2 item, but you can keep that as a tier 3, sometimes even as a tier 4.
But yeah, I was pleased to find out last year that hotel still has the cheese and meat room with all the salamis and all the cheese and stuff like that.
Very nice.
Like, I didn't get my chance at the middle of major, but I got my chance last year, unfortunately.
Oh, very good, very good.
It's one of those things where, like, there are some, you know, hotel buffets or whatever that you dream of years later.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true, actually.
Like once in a lifetime opportunity sometimes. That's what Dota brings us.
Ember going in with an invis, or a smoke, actually. Sorry, he was part of the smoke. I thought he was just picking up rune.
And the rest of the team pivoting bottom to play through the TA. Queen of Pain and Dazzle are both down here. It looks like BSJ and friends are going to swing into the Roche pit.
Yeah.
They're sneaking this.
Quick Roche, not easy to predict or to defend this. I think even if they knew about it, they're not really in position to defend it. Now we can see everyone kind of congregating to try and get over there. They might pop a smoke on mid, but it's all too late. Roche gets taken. Aegis on TA. Still a very, very close game.
Super, super tight, super competitive. But this TB racing ahead, 15,000 net worth, has had a cracking start to his game. And I like the fact that Queen of Pain hasn't like faltered and fallen too far behind. But we do have this pack of 3 dire cores that are sitting pretty tight together.
I think Queen getting Shard at some point as well could be really useful, so she can blink on either Tusk or the Oracle. Both of these heroes have the panic buttons, right? They're reaction buttons when you get jumped by a Queen. Being able to silence them when you jump them, not bad at all. Same against Ember, honestly. If you blink and silence him, you can follow up with anything, the Shadow Shaman. Because he likes going first, is the thing. This Queen of Pain player, he really likes diving in there. Let's see what he's gonna go for. As it stands right now with Aegis in hand, I don't think that Radiant want to take too many fights. They're just gonna kind of get by, keep cutting waves where they can. Playing for the runes, but the DD rune already picked up by the Ember.
Newsham giving vision on high ground with shards. Get snowball away from the co-op.
Get himself to safety. Gonna farm up the creep camp as well. Both teams kind of just dividing the map, sharing farm right now.
I keep poking my head into chat, and there's always someone asking, "Where's BSJ?"
Where is BSJ?
Where is BSJ? He's not here. He is not Reaper. That's Sammy boy. I'm not even sure if Queen of Pain, do we have the damage? The Solar Guardians come in and this Queen of Pain's pretty healthy. She's going to be able to Sonic Wave in a moment when one shot is ready. Stays alive. That silence, you're right, stays for such a long time. Ember Spirit now can open up on the supports. No chance to Grave, and Dazzle's disconnected at the worst possible time.
Oh, I think, yeah. I mean, the disconnect takes a few seconds to register sometimes as well if you got a crash, which I assume, again, it's a hardware issue here coming in, and we see him just walking right into the enemy.
Yeah, I don't know if he was there to grave the Quap. I don't think he was there on time. Maybe grave on the Shadow Shaman, but
I think Shadow Shaman, he would be in time. Queen, I think maybe not, because Nothel production, even with that, I'm not sure if he would be there in time. Still very tough time. I mean, technical difficulties is never what we want to have in a elimination series.
No, it's sad. Cyber Dingzhen hopefully gets back in the game shortly, but he is pretty dead on our screens with Monkeys and I Annihilate both eyeing up this Dazzle.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for him to get away. Meanwhile, Nusham is actually trying to get away from the Dawnbreaker, who has cooldown for a while on the Celestial Hammer. I'm not sure if he can close the distance. Faceboot's coming off in a few seconds, but Tusk also has 2 seconds on his blink, so he should be fine. They're pinging out that the Dawn could be a potential kill.
Grave, Glimmer, I Annihilate getting hit by this TB pretty hard. A Remnant away so he doesn't get the Dazzle kill, while Monkeys Forever deciding to step up and tank a few TB hits, then realize not a place he wants to be any longer.
Yeah, just gonna
so
back
Dazzle
out.
does survive.
Dazzle lives, but that was still on the back of DP not using any ulti, no real ulti being used on Dire, and Radiant losing not only heroes, but also ultis being expended. Rasta dropped the Snake, Dawnbreaker used his ulti in. And
Yeah, we're
just kind of farming away during all this.
Yeah, and Monkey still has Exo. So we could see an attempt at this. Oh no.
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
look at the reaction from Monkeys. You know, the thing is, he's like, kind of frustrated and now laughing because every single one of us has been there, right? Every single one of us has had these moments where your mum's turned off the router, you have a power cut, your internet goes down, your PC's crashing, something's going wrong, it's out of your control, and there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, if anyone sees Monkeys, by the way, laughing as his opponents keeps disconnecting here, is because he's a horrible person and just straight up evil. You know, this is purely malicious. Has nothing to do with that. Monkeys probably spends about, I would say, a good 1/3 of his life just laughing. I don't know, man. I can't hang out with him because it hurts too much. He's just a very contagious person when it comes to laughter.
That's good to have. It's always the offlane players, isn't it? Ice,
Yeah.
Monkeys.
It's the clowns. They're the clowns of the class turn into offlane players.
It's the offlane madness. Some kind of psychosis kicks in when you play through Dota 1 and early Dota 2 days where you're hiding in trees to try and hit level 3 minute 10 with no boots, you know.
Yeah, you had to be,
something gets you.
You had to be a little bit, you know, a little bit different
Loopy.
to be able to do. Yeah, a little bit crazy, a little bit psychotic
unique.
even.
Unique.
Enjoying strange things like, oh yeah, I love being level 1 minute 4, you know, being chased by 2 supports all game long.
Solving that puzzle. I'm trying to figure out the challenge. Anyway, TT Geam, hopefully no more disconnects, smoking up, playing together. Dawnbreaker is actually joining them here properly to push out this wave and pretend they're not playing up here. Ember Spirit, though, has skipped away while Nusham's been scouted. Shard's going to block out the Terrorblade, but Ame will round the corner and get the stuns.
Yeah, sadly, a reflection on him does kind of reveal where you're going. The illusion just chasing after you makes it pretty difficult for you to hide. He tried, but, you know, that one I'm fine with. I don't like the little imps from Warlock chasing you into Fog of War because they last forever. Reflection, however, I mean, it makes sense. It chases you. You can't just go Fog of War and it stops. This move coming around, they're scanning out the DP as well. They have the damage to bring her down for sure. Question is, can our happy fellow on DP read this gank? His ward does spot them now, so I'm just running straight top left towards his Oracle.
I just laugh it off. Yeah, get comfortable with that blanket on you. Looks very cozy.
Yeah.
Well, a very mild lead for BSJ and friends. They've used this Aegis to get out, you know, take parts of the map and get this TA as farmed as possible. But they've not really, you know, taken any tier 2s or done any major dents or damage to this Radiant side.
That's what they're trying to do now, smoking up the TA. So this is big intentions, coming with a 5-man smoke through the gate. So they're looking for the TB. Saw him bottom with their ward. TA's gonna TP and try and cut him off, or at least shove the lane and not make it too obvious.
Where are they? Where is everyone?
At the same time, it's hard. Like going on the carry when Dawnbreaker has an Aghanim's ulti ready. I'm not sure you can burst him.
And Yule's on the Queen of Pain just picked up. And they're going to go on the Terrorblade. Ember and Tusk started off. Shard blocked there as well. That's a lot of damage on the Shadow Shaman from the TA to try and blow up Ame. Nusham still in behind enemy lines with Annihilate to deal with the Dazzle, but this Terrorblade has been given free reign here to stand with a big Serpent Ward, dish out the deeps. The Monkey's forever going to be careful when you step. Yes, you've got Ghosts helping you out, but in this so far 1-for-1 trade, it's TT Geam who hold that high ground and stand strong.
I'm honestly amazed that just 2 supports died from that. That looked like we might see a lot more going down. But yeah, we see the value coming in from the Dawnbreaker heal. Very good at stopping the initial burst attempt. But at the same time, they jump out. The Ember, quick on his feet, gets to safety. Quick little Sunder, cheeky Sunder on the Dazzle. Bring himself to full HP on the TB.
Is it a cheeky Sunder?
It's a cheeky Sunder.
I mean, cheeky for the TB. I don't know if the Dazzle thinks it's particularly cheeky.
Yeah, well, you know, that's what heals are for. And if he wanted HP, he should have taken the other facet. Let's just say it that way.
It's just rude. And don't touch my health bar, please. So there's another smoke from BSJ and friends. Let's see what BSJ can do. Because BSJ is a very, very strong player.
Yeah, he
BSJ might be able to get a catch
good
up
player.
top. And BSJ hasn't realized that the Tormentor's died. So they're still going to run here in towards the area that is being fully controlled by TT Geam.
Ooh, quick
Pop through
TP
the
out.
Twin Gate, TP out with the Dawnbreaker. They are fully out of there.
Yeah. The Rasta did lose his foul play to Tormentor, by the way. He would have died, but foul play saved his life. That was pretty close. Dazzle gets the shard for free.
Why is BSJ not playing more aggressively?
Oh, yeah, we haven't seen him get involved too much, huh?
Why are we looking at the TA? That's not BSJ.
Observer can pretend, you know, for the viewers at home. We could tell a story.
Actually, which neutral creep would BSJ be?
Oh,
That's a hard question, isn't it?
Let me think. I reckon a Croaker.
Yeah?
Yeah, the ancient
Oh, hang
Croaker.
on. And the important question, we'll have an answer to it soon, because top lane Death Prophet's been caught out here with a ton of ultis dumped on her head. Yules into the sky, come down to the thud, monkeys forever. Well, dead.
Yeah, brought down. It's difficult. I mean, he did kind of force everybody to that side of the map, but at the same time, he's dead for a while, doesn't have ulti. This does open up possibilities to take over the entire map for Radiant. So yeah, you forced them away, but at the same time, map is difficult to play right now.
So you reckon Croaker? Those are the big ones with the tendrils, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The big ancient Croaker.
The catfish.
They have, it's not tentacles, it's congregations of the deep.
Wait, what?
The Dazzle gets bursted.
Dazzle dead. Oh, no, they're looking for chasing
I threw
someone,
you off
isn't
with the
it?
congregations, didn't I?
Well, it's tendrils of the deep, no?
No, it's yes until they're ancient. Then it's congregations of the deep.
Oh. But
Yeah.
it's... Okay, you were correcting me. I'm not wrong. It's a Croaker has tendrils of the deep.
Yeah, I said he's an ancient Croaker, man. Ancient.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay, I did not hear the ancient part.
Yeah. Oh, you think I would say BSJ isn't ancient? No, he's in here with us.
It's a young, sprightly little boglet. He's a little...
He was. Once upon a time, I hosted his channel. He was a boglet back then. Now he's an ancient Croaker.
Okay,
He was actually
fair
a
enough.
nobody until I hosted him. You know that? I made BSJ. True story. You can Google that. Look it up.
So who is BSJ? Why is BSJ? And you are the reason.
I basically made him, man. He had like 50 viewers, 30 viewers. I rated him, and now he's a big superstar.
So basically, you are BSJ.
I brought BSJ to the world.
We are all BSJ, actually. I think you're fine. Newsham wishing he was BSJ. Getting jumped by the Queen of Pain. And DP getting a bodyguard. Annihilate jumps in, then out again. But this chase forward with Metamorphosis going. TT Geam, they want a fight. They're itching for it.
I definitely do want to get the grab on someone. Roche could be spawning any moment, so getting a pick off before then would be nice, but that is TB ulti on cooldown. Well, technically his ulti, the Metamorphosis.
His most important spell.
Yeah, longest cooldown spell too.
I'm trying to figure out what he's meant to do. Push this mid wave, I guess.
Yeah, but this
No
feels like
definitely
a great moment for Dire to smoke up and make a play. TB without meta. Timing out now. I think they have to be so cautious on Radiant right now. They have little business sticking around this area too long.
Yeah, especially with the TA now getting a butterfly.
Okay, TA just gonna go straight to Roche with Butterfly and Brooch, Mjolnir, some fast DPS. This is a
straight
good read
in there.
though. They're going top. TTG wasting no time.
Even without Metamorphosis. Yeah, Serpent Ward up on the high ground. Glyph already forced out. Not an easy way to kill this ward off either. So they shard up the TB, try and deal with him and his illusions. Shadow Shaman and Queen of Pain poking at the Ember Spirit, but now the return fire from the Tusk. Roshan dead, Aegis claimed by the TA. Base defended for now as the Dazzle's going to get completely cut out and isolated. Annihilate BKB once more. We'll see the Queen of Pain. Remnants a little deeper to the north, looking for any stragglers as the punch comes out from the Tusk, finding the opening. With the silence being dispelled off, the Quap maybe could blink, but the Fortune's End is there.
Yeah, very nice Fortune's End right there. Dispels and roots you out of the Eul Scepter, so pretty nasty counter to the Eul Scepter build. I think he's gonna need BKB if he wants to stay alive in these fights on Queen of Pain. The TA also brought down the ward before it could finish off the melee racks, by the way. Having this butterfly and massive attack speed from the Mjolnir, he actually is a pretty good ward killer at this point.
He's the only one that can do it though.
He is,
DP doesn't want to stand there and do it, she wants to get involved.
That's very true. This time it worked out because ultimately Radiant, it was just a hit and run mission anyway. They didn't have meta, didn't want to take the big team fight.
And a big wave down bottom for the Ember Spirit to clear up. Terrorblade and Shadow Shaman are in the vicinity and maybe could strike onto this Ember, but he's slighted before the Hex could come in.
Yeah, unfortunate there. Unfortunate for Rasta. I feel like Ember is one of those heroes that I always mess that up as well when I try and catch him. Every time you try and jump him, Sleight of Fist is gonna come out at that exact moment. It's like, I don't know. Just gotta get him at the right time. Sending some illusions high ground to try and elicit some response. Maybe a ward will get dropped as well, as there are actually siege creeps. I like this. Just drop the ward, see what happens. Ember definitely doesn't deal with this ward very well, so this is enough to force a reaction.
Yeah, you have to come back and deal with it. It takes a little while to kill the ward, but tier 3 is kept alive.
The poor illusion stuck on the other side. The barrier.
No entry.
But this is their chance to go and take a fight, and Ame blinks into everything. Maybe a little bit too early.
Yeah, needs the rest of his team to come in, but he's already been picked off quickly. And BSJ and friends now have the option to, stick around, TP to outpost, take control of this area back with the high ground ward they've got, and cut out the wave. Really carving their space here.
Oh, look at kick up.
What's going on there? TV's drifting all over the place. He's been stunned up. Grave comes in though, with Zhao will turn around and fight back with the Sonic Wave, the heals, the sustain. They keep the Ember alive with a false promise as Newsham dies. Annihilate. Oh, he's being healed up. Looks like he's going to be okay. Back to full. Okay. Does blink in with the BKB going, but they're lacking control right now.
The
so
Gem
Ember
Oracle, though, could be
slips away. Oracle, the one that's being eyed up, but I don't know, it's dangerous to keep chasing this. Look at where the TA sat, where the Ember's coming from. Radiant, very, very tentative with their approach.
They still see the Death Prophet bottom, though, so I think they're frustrated, saying that surely we can take a fight here if DP is not even joining, but no, Monkeys Forever happily pushed all the way down bottom. Finally now thinking about joining his team. By the way, the fight backfired because they tried to kick out TB, but he has... Oh, yeah, Dazzle might get taken down here. Hides for a little bit. Hides for a little bit more. Grave, maybe? He's buying his time.
He's annoying.
Yeah, ultimately it's all for nothing, though.
Yeah, you can't be annoying when you're dead.
So, I was gonna get to the TB neutral item. First of all, I don't really understand the Desert Blood right on TB. What? Larger AoE on TB for the what? Aghanim Scepter? Okay, whatever. But he has tough on it, so 40% resistance to getting kicked. Am I missing something? Why Desert Blood right on TB?
Yeah, for a moment there I was like, mana cost, but it's just additional HP cost, right? It doesn't cut mana out. What's happening over here? Queen of Pain, Sonic Wave on the Oracle, but she's trapped in the shard, silenced up. Fortune's End's gonna root her as well. Okay, out in no man's land.
Okay, playing a bit too aggressively before his BKB came off cooldown, has it back now. Yes, he forced people into that corner of the map at least, so he might respawn before too much damage is being dealt, especially with TV pushing out the lanes. But yeah, that's another good pick off for Dire.
Oh, yeah, I mean, 12% area of effect increase on reflection, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, surely you had some better. I really am longing to know what options he had, though. There's no way. That has to be a misclick. There's no way you get a Desert Blood right. Lower your HP for Sunder? Like, is that the play?
Like, there are 6 tier 4 neutral items, and you get a.
There's no way, right?
There's no way. There's not something better.
Yeah, Dazzle gonna go down again. Gets caught trying to go on a little warding mission.
Yeah, Cave Johnson is screaming in my ear, going, "What the hell is happening?" And I do not know. I haven't got a clue. With the neutral on the TV.
This game really swung back hard.
Yeah, I mean 7k lead, multiple Roshans and Aegises. Like that's been a clear deciding factor, right? The Aegis and Roshan takes that Dire have kept them in and propelled them forward in the game.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
And now the Radiant trying to hold on to their base, pushing out waves. It's got a whiff of inevitability about it when TA is alone shoving top, DP's farming jungle and pushing bot. Terrorblade is trying to get out on the map very far to the north. Nusham is already hunting. Like, Sammy Boy has signaled where the TB should be, and of course you see the Serpent Ward and the TB illusion killing range racks tops. You have an idea of where the TB is.
There's no way you can solo it. No, okay. He's lowering his HP on it, looking for a Sunderplay. Okay. They actually used the Dawnbreaker ulti to take the shard. Now you don't have Dawn ulti. At least Dire don't know about this. But it's a pretty long cooldown. He didn't take the CDR talent on it. 80 seconds without it. If high ground push happens to coincide with this, it's gonna be rough. Of course, Roche still dead for a while though, so maybe it was a good time to just get some value.
Did I see that right? Yeah, this now coincides with the refresher orb on Ember Spirit. So not only do you not have this Solar Guardian for a minute, but you now have to deal with infinite remnants, multi-BKB, Annihilate running at you. And the Templar Assassin is already on high ground, breaking tier 3 tower. The Radiant are not in position to defend this whatsoever.
They're not. They're having to TP back base now. Rasta is trying to make his way out to perhaps drop a snake on the enemy side of things. Looks like they might be able to hold long enough that he can push that lane in together with the TP illusions. Still though, siege is starting.
Metamorphosis is already used.
Kind of trading for the Exo though. It's not that bad for him. Just have to be careful about Tusk pulling anyone out. The Dazzle, the Dawnbreaker, both have to be so careful here.
And TA traps first. And Blink away from DP gets out of there. And Arme is going to grab the Shrine of Wisdom on the right-hand side of the map. But this is where having an Ember Spirit really comes into play. He can be wide out on the map, pushing lanes, then rejoin. Something Dawnbreaker would love to be doing right now, but like you've been saying, right, that Solar Guardian cooldown is rough. That's a lot of damage quickly onto Sammy Boy. False Promise required quickly. As they turn off the Death Prophet now. Monkeys, Yules up into the sky. The Serpent Ward going to work though. Big damage landing onto Monkeys and Nusham with a Terrorblade opening up. Arme about to drop. The DP still alive with BKB going with Ember Spirit. He's been shackled up, but he's going to break free. No mana left though. I Annihilate out of resources, but Nusham's come in with a kick and a punch. Ja, Terror Blade kicked around while in the back lines. Monkey's going toe-to-toe with the Queen of Pain. I Annihilate and Zeg's going to come in to finish her off. So 2 down on the Radiant side. Nusham's going to buy back, as are the double heroes on the Radiant.
Trying to maybe catch something more. They need to heal up quickly though.
Courier's dying. Is the gem on the floor? Did they get picked up by someone?
They got the gem over on the Tusk now. Gonna back away. Dude, that neutral item saved the team fight entirely, I think. The Outworld staff on the DP stayed alive for so long.
I thought you were gonna say the Desert Blood.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, maybe that saved the fight completely as well. Imagine if TB actually had a useful neutral item, and that could also have been really
I was so ready for you to be like, oh, the reflection hit all 5. It just hit the DP on the right.
Barely, because of the AoE. Yeah, no, I'm not seeing that one, dude. I actually can't deal with that choice.
Rough for the Radiant though, double buyback, not getting anything off the back of it.
Every other item is base, so much better, Gareth. Every other item.
I know.
The monocle would be amazing.
I mean, look, we can look at a list of the entire, view all neutral items there.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. I mean, they're all amazing. The Outworld staff is fantastic pickup. The crits, even the Pyrrhic cloak just to return damage.
Maybe he's role playing.
He's from hell?
Yeah. A Terror Blade, some kind of demonic creature.
It's true, actually.
I don't know. Was he buddies with Warlock in another life or something like that? He's got a real tight bond to the power of Goroth, and he wants to summon his own demonic creatures. So he's bought this grimoire, expecting it to be like free magic, but he doesn't realize he's going to pay his soul.
He's got his own grimoire going. I like it. They're split pushing for now, leaving the top racks, but meanwhile sending a question mark to the bottom lane. They need to be able to catch someone though, else they just lost the racks for nothing. They're not gonna catch any of the dire heroes walking away, so yeah, that's just top lane gone.
And it's not equalization, right? Because Dire didn't lose their melee racks. So this is now advantage for BSJ and friends top. And a decent spot for Dire to be in to now push out bottom, get into mid, and retake control over an area in front of the Radiant base.
And they're
of course with Roshan respawning. Yeah.
And they're just not in time to move for it. They're bringing the smoke in right now, but Roche is already falling.
I don't get there in time. They just already picked up, and the TB does come in to try and fight. Push back Sonic Wave, but there's the Oracle save. DP in trouble. Where's she gone? Pops into the Nether Realm, yules into the sky. BKB's up, but about to die. Terrorblade shreds her, while on the left-hand side, Shadow Shaman is found by the TA and Ember. Serpent Ward on the floor, very irritating to contend with. And Sammy Boy being hammered by the Dawnbreaker. DP and Oracle on the Queen of Pain, but it's Ember and Templar Assassin standing their ground, blowing up the Dazzle. Nusham could come in and maybe save, give Sammy Boy a better time here as they turn and pummel the Dawnbreaker down. I thought the TB was rejoining this, but he's bailed on it. He left the fight, ran through to mid.
Yeah, he didn't necessarily bail by choice. It was the Tusk who has the cooldown reduction on the shards plus Aghanim Scepter actually kept him out of the fight for so long.
Really?
Nusham was straight up trolling him. And I don't know, I mean, it's 7-second duration, 8-second cooldown on these shards, man. It's pretty hard to move around.
The entire fight, I'm like, where's the TB? Where's the TB? Now he shows up and he's got a DD. Takes down the Oracle. Nusham in trouble as well. Lines it up for a double kill.
Yeah, slides through him and cuts him in half.
Monkey's face there, like that damage.
Yeah, some massive damage coming in. Monkeys did commit to a buyback for this fight, so wanting to get something more.
Sammy Boy going high ground. It does get pushed around as the Queen of Pain takes the Aegis out of the hands of the TA.
Yeah, meanwhile, the Dazzle just being annoying, using his ulti. And they're holding the base for now. No more structural damage gonna be dealt. And Terrorblade sure is really strong, but I think next fight is gonna be crucial that he doesn't get locked down by ice shards like that and held out of place. I almost feel like they need to get a nullifier on their team. I know they have AC queued up right now on Dawnbreaker, But seeing these Yule Scepters from the Death Prophet buying so much time, Oracle has Glimmer, you know, Oracle spells, there's a Force Staff, there's actually a Hurricane Pike as well, there's quite a few things that you might want to dispel.
There's a lot of tools.
Still though, we're heading very late into the game. TA is 9,000 gold and queuing up the Aghanim Scepter. There we go. Get the global mobility going.
Well, TA is that guy in the cheerleader squad with a baton, you know, twirling it around, has two flags from the Roche pit. What's TA doing?
Yeah, it's his pom-poms, bringing them to the fight. He's giving both to Oracle. He's like, here are your pom-poms.
There we go, the real cheerleader sitting in the back.
Yeah, so we have the big lotuses spawning up. Very nice to get those. Some quick heal.
So Dawnbreaker is off to the left, ready with ult. Queen of Pain very forward, silenced and stunned, kicked back in towards them. BKBs and blinks away, but the TA jumps forward with physical damage until that grave stops them while Annihilate. He's dead. Godlike streak gone. Ember Spirit just disappeared there in the matter of seconds. They've got a slow on his TA now as well. Sammy Boy, another touch. Could slow him down to just bring him down here as the Dawnbreaker closes the gap with the help of the Shadow Shaman. Sammy Boy needs help big time. Oracle trying to pump the heals forward with this false promise going, allowing Sammy Boy to jump in aggressively onto the Shadow Shaman. The TB dealt with by the DP, sent away with a refresher up from Monkey. He can get another BKB off as they get on the Dazzle and kill him. Dead with no buyback, 2 minutes time. Dawnbreaker might be going the same way as well. Annihilate on there. With the Ember buyback, BSJ and friends able to get something done.
That was a really big momentum swing buyback, getting a massive kill on the Dazzle there as he doesn't have buyback, dead for 100 seconds as well. And even the Rasta buyback, they know that they're not up yet. There's a chance for him to just beeline down. DP ulti is still available. She's gonna look to get travels maybe? I think he might sell, like, I don't think he wants to part ways with his Yule Scepter. He wants someone to take that outpost right now. He's pinging it like, guys, I want to get over there.
I want to join. You know, refreshed up. Let's go play aggressive.
And this is a significant push coming in. TA deals some big damage with all these items.
Oh, look at that tier 3 crumble quickly. A flag on the floor as well. And glyphing up the creeps so monkeys can come in with the exorcism going. This is going to be mid lane for sure. Maybe even a bonus one as Crop goes in, trying to Sonic Wave the creeps, but they were glyphed and bannered up. So now Sonic Wave and BKB down, Queen of Pain blinking away. A risky move, and it doesn't pay off. Now TB has run in. Playing forward, but getting kicked around, stunned up, and no time or space to sunder. Now a buyback out of him and the Dawnbreaker. Solar Guardian to try and swing something back out of this. They catch onto the Tusk. He's trying to break free, though, with the help of the Oracle behind him, healing up, and Newsham, he's fine. Queen of Pain blinks in aggressively, though. TA turns with the damage, Snowball, and Newsham saved with a false promise. Okay, he's dead for 2 minutes.
Oh, that could be all they need. Can dive in even more now. Dazzle's up in 10 seconds. TB is chasing after the Death Prophet, but all this kiting, the neutral item, the Yule Scepter, and even the armor, he's not really bringing her down.
And then he's basically diving fountain at this point. TA trying to sideblade splash off of some of these traps. Ember Spirit jumping in and out of the fountain to try and burst down the Arme Shadow Shaman. Now he's got buyback available and he's probably going to bloody have to use it now because they're losing all their buildings and Sammy Boy's keeping the tips up. Showing Jack exactly how he feels.
Yeah, TB is just not part of this. He's going to cut the next wave, but does not do too much. GG gets called. They know that they are beat. End of the day, it's gonna be the BSJ and friends who take game here. That was a hard-fought battle, though. We see a smoke coming out from BSJ and friends.
Yeah, rushing out the gates as quickly as possible, and a slightly delayed smoke there from Geam. Not as delayed as we've been seeing in Europe, right? This kind of move out minute, oh, not minute, but 40 seconds before the horn is then when you smoke and then go out to place wards. Just making sure that you don't immediately come in contact with people like this, where they're already setting up on the high ground.
Yeah, there's usually a reason why you do it. You smoke at 40 seconds remaining because smoke lasts for 45 seconds. So if you smoke at 40, you're going to have enough duration to take the fights on the bounty runes and still be smoked when people are going down the hills to try and pick the bounty runes. So that's why.
Because right now, 30 seconds till spawn and everyone is appearing.
And Ja is in an unfortunate situation here. He's standing on a ward as his smoke runs out. They don't know if he's alone or not, though. And
Funny place for a bear to be.
yeah, meanwhile, their own ward is giving them great information. They see the Rasta, see the DP, Tiny. They basically see everything.
And top rune's going to get fought over.
Disruption.
TT Geam start with disruption. It's a big shockwave. Magnus gushed up. The hits are coming and Newsham's dying quickly. Ursa comes in. Silencer actually gets the last touch there to find first blood.
Yeah, Cyber Dingson, they're gonna try and throw the blood grenade. Does not connect. A little bit too far away, and the Murta should be getting to safety here. Even with the slow from Ursa, I doubt that they should be able to. Oh wait, he's going left. That's a psycho move. He could have gone right to the tower, but he's actually running to the lane.
He also stopped to pick up the bounty rune. It didn't look like he clicked and shift queued it. He did this like little stutter step, which gave a bit of time there for the Radiant to catch up.
A little bit of panic.
Two kills to the good.
2 kills for the good, and Ame getting some clicks in on the Rasta as well, who has to run away into the tree line.
Mid lane classic. Tiny versus Ember. Melee versus melee farm fest.
Yeah,
Probably not going to be looking into mid until like minute 6, right?
No, it's pretty farmy. I mean, it's just last hits. Obviously, there are small outplays you can make here and there, but definitely not my favorite mid matchup. Meanwhile, instead,
hey, he's dead up top. The Reaper. He comes in with Zaxi to kill off the Shadow Demon. Level 1.
this is a lane that can be tricky for Tidehunter as well. Playing against double range heroes, a lot of spell damage coming in, the Rasta hitting really hard, so he needs Ame to protect him. And you asked about the creep wave pulling. We already have some of that action down bottom. Creep waves are being pulled down in the little hot tub.
Monkeys loves going around in circles. Sansa's going to step up, and Ursa's arrived to force Monkeys back. And Wave is going to then go under tower.
Yeah, Monkey's Forever is pretty low HP as well, so this lane is going quite well for the Ursa, even though last hits are looking kind of low. HP trading has been efficient for them so far.
Morata really coming out on top in this early laning stage, even with the early deaths. 13-1 up in that top lane.
Yeah, they're bursting into Tidehunter quite a bit. Keeping his HP low makes it hard for him to even go up and keep getting the CS, so Merta just building this lead.
Yeah, then they can push damage onto the Shadow Demon at the same time. Good dead shot, pushes them around. Zexy keeping that damage going. And they've got access to both of their camps here, it looks like.
Yeah, I think
Small
easy
camp already
pulls.
dewarded.
We do have Lotus spawning up as well, so we'll see if Reaper can get over there and get his hands on it.
Zexy not deciding quickly where he wants to be. Looked like he wanted to pull small, then large, then goes Lotus.
Yeah.
That wave is going to push forward a bit. While down at bottom, Newsham does get a grab on the Ursa. Skewers him in towards Monkeys. Blood Grenade was good, but just lacking that little bit of extra damage.
Yeah, Silencer meanwhile doing a lot of damage, but the Lotus is still available. Silencer does not trade that well against the Magnus 1v1, and even DP coming in as well. Needs the help from Ursa, but Ursa has no HP to fight with.
Yeah, Ursa just gets crypt swarmed up. As Monkeys and Newsham get the Lotus. Good shot with Skewer. He gets both of them inside of it. Newsham nearly finds the double kill on his own.
He almost got him. If he got an auto attack out there on the Ursa after Skewer, could have gotten the kill. Yeah, tip him up. I mean, he's just smacking people. The support Magnus.
That's UK Dota right there. Newsham is an honorary British Dota player.
Very nice.
Oh, there is a meme about UK Magnus, as in do not pick UK players Magnus because they are bad. That's what Newsham has done. You know, American moves over there, picks Magnus, shows us how to do it.
I've only been familiar about the UK Mars. I've seen a lot of those too, but I guess they're similar.
The UK Mars. Yeah. Not heard about that one. Bad. Monkeys getting munched on. This Ursa with the Furious Wipes gobbles up the DP, and Newsham. Wait, has he got Skewer? Can he get out of here?
He might be dead. He has 8 seconds cooldown. Long time. I don't know. This is difficult to stop. Just gotta
No,
go
you
down.
can't stop it.
Good rundown coming in there. Gia putting those boots to good use, and that will get him the upgrade to face boots as well. So bottom lane, kills being traded. The bigger story for me though is the CS numbers. The 28-7 versus 14-2. Doubling up the net worth or CS on top lane. Reaper just constantly laying in damage onto Tide. A little bit of a whiff on the dead shot there, but good attempt still.
It's just not easy times at all. Silencer down bottom this time, going to feel the pain. Notion and Monkeys come back full health. And kill off the pause 5. Just feels like so far this is trending towards the dire across all 3 lanes. Yes, Ursa's finding these kills down bottom, but it's not really halted Monkeys from farming. They're tied up together. And then this Murta and Tiny really starting to lead out ahead of the pack.
And that's in spite of what we saw
scary.
from the start. Getting the first blood, or getting the kill early on. Over on the Murta.
Yeah, that question's always, you know, what if? What if we hadn't had these kills? Well, Zexy not able to get the D ward. Sentry dies before he can kill it.
He's gonna hop through the gate again, go top, but took quite a bit of damage before he went through, so that might help top lane a little bit. They could maybe find a disruption on the Rasta if he steps up too far. He did have to go back as Murta took quite a bit of a beating.
My ears are getting tired. My my in-game camera was sat on that mid lane. You know, while the observer's looking around the map and we're following it, my Dota has non-stop just been Sleight of Fist spam, top spam, avalanche spam. Like both of these mid players just spamming spells non-stop, using bottle charge, spam more spells. 6-minute rune, haste for Tiny. That's a big one.
Yeah.
Ember Spray's going to TP home and regen, but Annihilate could easily move to another lane.
Or maybe even on the mid lane, but at level 6 Ember, I'm not sure how you find the kill on this guy.
No, like maybe a toss back into Skewer, but
Nah,
it's
not
like a
from
1% chance.
Yeah, too much HP. In the end, the side lanes are going to be where the attention should go. Annihilate invades, finds Ame, runs straight past him, ignoring
tied
him.
up atop. He's getting shackled and shot. There's Shadow Shaman and Muerta with a Tiny arriving, kill the Tide.
Yeah.
And what, meanwhile down bottom?
Invasion for the wisdom.
Okay, coming in. Monkeys forever getting swiped by the Ursa. Nushim is here though, could cliff him, puts him on top of the spire. Ursa's stuck forever now, but the Ember has arrived from the back end. Kills off the Death Prophet, and I Annihilate here to try and clean up the mess with a big avalanche toss. Kills off the Ursa who's up on top. Okay, do we have a Remnant to play with? No, we don't. That's a double kill for the Tiny.
Big damage coming in. That level 4 avalanche just doing work. Up top, meanwhile, pressure coming in with the catapult wave as well. Just trying to keep it alive, and the poor Tide Hunter, man. Every time I watch him, he's just struggling to stay in the lane. Got no Vladimir, so he went face boots first. Ursa has now found himself on mid lane, but without ulti, you don't want to lane against the Tiny, my friend.
No, you've only got one broadsword. And now a mad rush to Battle Fury for this Ursa. Needs some space. And that's always going to be this question of who's going to make it for him. Tide hasn't had a lane. Ember is, you know, middling at best. We need some exceptional playmaker tempo to come out from this Radiant team, or else Ursa's dreams of Battle Fury are just going to be a pipe dream.
Yeah, I Annihilated with the D rune as well. Looking for the Ursa, not going to find him as he was spotted, of course, by this Observer Ward. They can see him again coming in behind the Ursa.
Disruption. Stopped in his tracks. Where is the Tide? He's not top.
He's trying to
farming
farm some
jungle.
stacks. Now Ursa shows up and also is begging for some scraps. This is not the most efficient farming though, having heroes, you know, sharing the field like this, whereas Dire just staying on every single lane, getting the lane creeps, the valuable creeps in the early game.
I mean, Ursa rocks up and shows the title deed. And now this is his land. These are his stacks.
Well, until you have a Battle Fury to prove your certificate, I believe not.
Oh yeah. It's like land ownership through violence, Wag. Ursa is the state police coming in to make sure you've got no chance.
State police coming in top as well as they're going behind Tiny. Looking at Tide and thinking maybe we can just burst this guy.
Oh, easily. Easily burst him. They would love to have Shadow Shaman level 6 here for a quick little Serpent Ward on the tower, but he's not quite there yet.
A little
Instead,
bit too low.
Morta and Tiny going to try and do the job with the creep wave coming in.
And Tiny wants to make his way over, keep controlling the runes. Playing for rune control is very useful. And Ursa is getting what he can on mid lane, but every time he shows up, he takes a nuke to the face. There's a shockwave or toss or avalanche, and this is so dangerous to just sit here.
It's not fun at all.
Maybe
And there's no real threat on the DP anymore either, right? Like, bottom lane was Ursa Silencer actually threatening the Magnus and the DP. Ursa's walked in for this Arcane Rune, pops in rage, turns to munch on Tiny.
He's gonna get
Annihilate, Fairy Fire, toss up, send the Ursa back where he belongs, while the Silencer is going to get Shockwave skewered by Nusham for another kill.
Yeah, the swap they did where they put the Ember bottom and the Ursa stayed mid was really awkward for them. Now finally Ember is back towards the mid lane. Definitely a stronger hero to have in this area.
Yeah, because look, this has now allowed Monkeys Forever to get ulti off, catapult wave incoming, damage on tier 1. It was like the worst of both worlds, lane swapping like that.
He's having a field day right now. He's getting all the farm he wants in this tower, taking a ton of damage as the hero ghosts come in. Ursa's TP down here, but he's not gonna be able to stop the push.
So funny seeing these like 2D ghost objects flying through the sky.
Oh, she's about to get healed soon. This could work out really well for Monkeys.
And Tiny's here. Massive damage already just with an avalanche. Ja on this Ursa gonna have what? A creep tossed at him? The Hellbear Potato. Okay, thinking about remnanting away while Nusham's in with a shockwave, skewer forward.
Oh, the phase
Not
boots.
quite able to latch on the Ursa. Phase boots and in the river, off he pops while the RP fake pumped or cancelled by the silence anyway. Leads to Ame's death.
And Ursa is back to farming jungle, but nowhere is safe right now. So Annihilate is chasing him, puts down a ward. He did see him. Oh boy.
Yeah, it's one of those games where it's like, oh, you survived, nice. But
where are you
wasn't
farming?
dying just better?
Yeah, oh no. He's gonna see him in time.
He's dead. See you, buddy.
Exactly. So he survived, kited for about 25 seconds, and then died afterwards. And that just feels like he had a longer death time, essentially.
I know, they're just giggling to himself. What? I found him still. I got him. Nusham, all your hard work didn't end up being worthless.
Some of this...
And now a toss forward. Monkeys Forever sent onto the Tide Hunter with the Tiny coming in, but they don't want to continue diving with okay, and a Ravage to play forward onto this DP and Tiny. Maybe TT Geam can get a kill? Maybe not.
Tried a little bit.
Maybe not.
Might be able to get the Rasta as a
Shaman?
consolation at least, as Sexy has walked a bit too close.
Oh,
Misreading this.
He got baited.
Yeah, misread the situation. Baited by his course. I do want to say that some
misread
of
the situation.
Ursa situation...
That's a core player talking, Wagga. Misread the situation by ass. He got baited. Come here, Sexy. Shadow Shaman, come here. We'll kill them all. The two cores run away.
You think that's what they were saying?
100%.
Oh. ST gonna get tossed up.
Oh, tucked away from death. Monkey's very thankful to grab that kill. Do we have Blink Mag yet?
No.
Oh, it's on
It's
Courier.
He doesn't have it on.
It's on Courier. That'll be really good here. We've got Blink Tiny though. Global Silence protects the Ursa from any further onslaught, but this is a devastating move from Monkeys Forever. Nusham gets the kill on Ja. Okay, is in on this DP. She's healing up, but the Ancients are clapping her. Neutral Creep claims the life of the Death Prophet. While Shadow Shaman is caught up the Silencer and Tiny with a two-man avalanche toss. A few hits away from killing off Tide and Ember. Annihilate, though, is going to get pummeled. Now with a blood grenade and a blink RP, Nusham. Oh, he's done it to him. Gets on top of both the cores, gets the double kill. What more could you want from your Pulse 4?
Yeah, Nusham is having a fantastic impact this game, along with Annihilate. The two of them just running around dealing so much damage in these fights. I mean, the Tiny just finding a very good Avatos combo there as well. And Emerta is starting to get involved as well. With this Maelstrom now, her damage output is kind of crazy. Nobody can actually tank against her. Waiting for the next creep wave. Wants to push the tower.
Yeah, and it's that situation, right? Game 1, you gave it your all. And game 2, it feels like TTG are kind of being outclassed.
Yeah,
They're not able to lane or progress. They can't transition into mid game. Battle Fury Ursa is like a required item to play the hero, and if you don't get there,
it is a required item. Oh no, Ursa, not again. The Avatos combo, almost getting blown up immediately. He's gonna try and turn around, but Tiny is not a hero you burst, so gotta be careful.
Meanwhile, Ember mid, he's being killed off with a skewer into the calling. The Silencer's gonna chase the Tiny back, so the Ursa does survive.
And now they're smoking down, looking for the Ursa. No brakes on this train coming in from BSJ and friends. Wraparound move, going the long way around. Very patient from them, but the Shadow Shaman did get... Oh, is he? No, he's not spotted, I think. Can you see him? I think he's around the corner. Oh, they see him with the ward. Never mind. They have the ward on the cliff.
So you think Ursa's going to survive?
He should understand this, but the question is, how do you live? If he runs to the right, Tiny might run up and blink him as well.
Can he TP right now?
He doesn't have a TP. So no.
Right.
No, this is a very complicated situation for him to get out of. I did want to say that...
Is it complicated though?
What?
Seems like a pretty open and shut. He's dead.
No, he can try to run straight up north into the tower and try to sit under tower and then see if he can get out of there. But people sitting in smoke, staring at you, potential blink daggers coming in.
Is he a weasel?
He could weasel his way out of this one, Gareth. I'm gonna give him 30% chance of survival.
Hey Google, is
Ursa
a weasel a part of the bear family? Can he be a weasel? I don't think so. Weasels, badgers, otters, polecats, martens, grizzlies, and wolverines are all in a different family.
Said they don't think so. So they don't know. Okay. But now we have. There we go. Actual facts and truth, he's not a weasel.
No, he's not a weasel. Who said think? Nope, he's gone.
But yeah, I wanted to get back to this for a while now. So I want to say a lot of Ursa's situation is self-inflicted. He's going cornucopia last? Yeah. 2 broadswords? Recipe? No cornucopia? The copium is the most important component. You need it. It's the region. It's what keeps you alive.
More damage means creeps die faster, which means more gold faster?
Yeah, honestly, can't remember last time I saw someone buy Battle Fury and not go for the cornucopia first. At least, you know,
it's wild.
Even PA players buy it. And that's when you know. Oh, the mischance is coming in, but not enough.
And an RP on this Ember Spirit. It's all falling apart very quickly. 22-7, 14k lead. You know, we're starting to get a bit jokey with this one because it definitely feels like the wind has turned completely from being a competitive series and competitive game into, yeah, Zexy chuckling his ass off. Giggles over here having a grand old time on Shadow Shaman.
Yeah, they're feeling themselves right now. BSJ and friends. I mean, the early runarounds and just kill after kill, the Ember and Ursa lane swap. A lot of things have not really worked out for Radiant.
Yeah, a lot of devastation, a lot of devastating moves here as BSJ and friends kind of festering in this Radiant part of the map. Sorry, I'm just trying to bring as many Jenkins words as I can into the fold.
Channeling the Jenkins.
Yeah.
And I annihilate. We can't keep up with all the kills this man is finding right now. He's just...
Where is he?
Well, I can tell you where Ursa isn't. Ursa got bursted again. Also having no raindrop against Tiny, just asking for trouble. So damage coming in is too high.
If he's not buying cornucopia, he's not buying raindrops, is he? No. Another toss back by Annihilate. He's tossed the Tide in. A risky maneuver in any other game, but in this one, it's the death of the watermelon. And Arme also found as a bonus kill.
Yeah, they're holding on, staying brave for now, but this is a tough game to hold on to in any sense of the word. As towers are being pressured by the Rasta and DP off cooldown, this Rasta snake gets dropped.
Yeah. We've hit timing number 1. I mean, usually this Ursa Battle Fury is like minute 11 or 12, right? So this is 5-6 minutes late?
Yeah, at least like a good 4 or 5.
Maybe a kill on Tiny here, though. Buys Battle Fury, goes to fight, kills Rock.
Okay. The start of something. Gets tipped immediately. There we go.
So Ursa isn't a weasel, but apparently he's a stonemason.
He carved him.
He did. Meanwhile, Newsham going to skewer the Tide in towards The rest of BSJ and friends, he has Ravage and 12-1 charges here to pop and maybe survive, but he decides not worth it. Now Blood Grenade and a chase forward. Zexy is very aggressive with Nusham alongside him. The disruption's going to cancel out the Blink Shockwave Skewer play. He'll RP the Shadow Demon now instead, and an Ether Shock will finish him off.
And the Shockwaves.
Like you're committing so hard and you're not being punished.
Exactly, they're right outside the enemy base, but the Ursa knows he wants the Blink Dagger, doesn't really want to TP back, only to get baited. So I kind of respect it. You just finished this Battle Fury, you need to clear some Ancients, you need to get some creeps. Meanwhile though, the one we haven't talked about too much, the Reaper, farming away like crazy, 12k net worth, almost doubling up the Ursa.
Who? What is it?
The carry Murta. See how good it is, Gareth.
Pink's in the game. 12k net worth, minute 20. Has one death from the very beginning of the game when he died at the bounty rune.
Yep.
And since then it has been, yeah, smooth sailing.
Since then it's been non-stop auto attack.
TT Geam, smoked up as 5. They have Ravage. They have Global.
They don't have Blink
Maybe
Ursa.
we can see some... Oh, okay.
The...
Damn it, you ruined my whole...
I'm sorry. It's just... That's the one thing they need right now. Maybe...
No, you're right.
Maybe it can work out even without it though.
If Monkeys walks into them,
he is on
like Gush and Ravage, just kill this DP. Silence on 3 though. Monkeys has backup coming as well. Look at Nusham positioning and waiting. The Global's expended. They haven't jumped in with the Magnus yet. They've sent Tiny forward to bait things out. Ravage, Nusham dodges it so we can jump in. 3-man Shockwave Skewer back in towards the waiting arms of this Muerta who opens up. 3 dead and no answer from TT Geam. You've tried with your combo, you spent your big spells, the kitchen sink was thrown out, but...
And now the push is coming.
BSJ and friends are just too strong right now.
Even without the DP ulti in that fight, it does not matter. Tiny is so threatening and the Murta is just looking absolutely unstoppable. They don't have the stun heroes as well to deal with the Murta at this stage. Sure, she doesn't have BKB, but just Hurricane Pike alone is keeping her safe. Another grab by Nusham.
Really just demonstrating some despicable devastation here, demolishing his opponents. It's undeniable how good this guy is.
He discombobulated that poor silencer completely. You thought you were a big brain, but Magnus just takes you for a ride.
Now straight onto the second lane. Another set of barracks. Oh, I don't mind if I do. DP with the ulti. Nusham doesn't even need to like smoke or hide. He's just going in. Gets a cat on tide. Toss back the Shadow Demon. 1 by 1. The easy pickings fall off the apple tree. Picked up by BSJ and friends. But a very well crafted draft here by BSJ. I've got to say.
Yeah, BSJ did great. The coach.
All of his panel work, you know, all of his casting and stuff like that has really brought him to the forefront of Dota 2 technology.
That's true. I did see him in the chat earlier. You know, he's channeling his power. Are coaches allowed to watch the stream? Is that stream cheating, Gareth?
No, they're allowed to watch. Of course they are. That's why you got to be careful, you know? Careful who's listening, who's paying attention to the words you're using.
That's true.
You know, you don't want to be casting liquid when Blitz is watching. You say any bad words and he'll be on you. Blitz is strong. He works out.
Yeah, he does. He does. He's a buff guy.
Couple of dead arms, you know, punches you with his knuckle.
I don't think I've met Blitz in person ever since he made the transformation, you know.
Yeah?
Yeah. He's so swole now.
Oh, our boy is stacked for sure.
Ursa gets spotted by Nusham. Nusham wants another skewer.
There it is. Poor little teddy bear.
Oh, global silence as well on cooldown. There's no way out.
It's the same thing with EG or Shopify Rebellion or GG called. They tap out. I mean, it's been over for a while. Let's be real.
Yeah.
22 minutes in, they lasted as long as they possibly could. But BSJ and friends, the upper hand in this series.